Hey, how are you, Jason?
Really good.
Good, man.
What you been up to tonight?
I left and I just got stuck across town and couldn't get back in time. I was like, oh, crap.
You keeping busy these days, Tim?
I'm keeping real busy. The thing is, I'm getting ready to go to Russia here, and I leave Friday for Yngwie's to start rehearsing. So it's, I think I leave really early in the morning. So it's just trying to get ready for all this,
You're going to be rehearsing with Yngwie Malmsteen in Russia?
No, I'm going to rehearse in Miami, and then, just about a couple of days, and we fly out to Russia.
Where did Yngwie Malmsteen finally decide that you're going to be the singer?
Well, I think it was just, it was around the time that I had, Endorsed Earth and I had split. I think it was almost, I think he might have even contacted me a week before and mentioned, I don't even know when it was. You know what I think it was? I think I had left Endorsed Earth, and then I think that what had happened was I'd read that around the same time that Doogie wasn't in the band anymore and he was looking for a different direction. That's when the phone rang and they started contacting me, and so it was that was probably 2007, or I'm not exactly sure when that was. I think it was 2007.
And when you finally played on Perpetual Flame, how long did it take you to get into that?
Well, what happened was I went out there, he played me, so what happens was we had a meeting, to meet with each other, and, we actually met, and then we went up the road, went to Starbucks and hung out, and he had played me some of the material, and then went back, and, I just kind of sang on a little bit of it, just to see how everything was gonna get along and how we were gonna mesh, and, it was really good, it took no time right when we got together to think, this could be pretty fun, and it has been.
Now you got one of the most powerful voices in the earth, let's just say. How does it affect your singing if you go to Russia with the difference in temperature?
It's funny, right? Because I'm going to go from here in Ohio, which is closer to, in between. Maybe I don't even know what the weather's like in Russia, but I know it's cold right now, I think. And I'm going to rehearse in Miami, so it's kind of like, wow, we're going from from Miami, the heat, to Russia. But I'm pretty used to it. It was easier. It was easier about 10, 15 years ago when I was a little bit younger. Maybe 10 years ago it was easier. Hell, it might have been easier a year ago. I don't know. But 42 years old and chasing after some little kids at the house. It's voice isn't really exactly what it used to be, But so I have to take care of it and take extra care of it, and that's the way I've been able to keep up with it, So it's I'll just get there. I'll get there a day early and get a lot of rest.
Now, when you're on tour like that, what do you do, to pass your time in the day?
Well, that's the big thing. I would get up and try to get a lot of rest. I try to sleep in as long as I can. I'm not very good at sleeping in that much, but I try to sleep in as much and just stay around the hotel. If there's a gym, maybe take a walk. If there's a gym, I hit the gym, and but the main thing is just trying to get rest the night before and not using it. And I hope when I go somewhere I have that night off, one night off to rest the voice, and not really use it too much, and get ready for the show.
When you decide to make your album, Play My Game, where did you decide I'm going to do my own solo album?
Well, we were talking about the next Beyond Fear CD, and the label at this time, the label and Wendy Dio. I think Wendy was the first to say, "Listen, I think it's time for you to do a solo record." I think you have Beyond Fear, and you want Beyond Fear to be known as a band, so I think it's time to do a solo record. And we talked to the label about it, and they thought it was a great idea. And it just started coming together. I had already had 5 or 6 songs written. Or 5 songs written, and then I started writing with other people, and I started adding on all these musicians that played on it, and it was, and that was the album. I really love the record, and it just shows a lot of different sides of me.
Do you still keep in touch with Judas Priest these days?
Yeah, it's funny because I just emailed him last night, had to see how Glenn and Ken were doing, and woke up today and had an email back, and everything's good, and what's going on, and that's the great thing about us is we left on good notes, and they're my friends, and they always will be friends, and that's the good thing. That's what you really need, That's what the positive thing that you need with when you leave something like that. And I got to tell you, we were the best of friends when I was in the band. We got along really well. Probably one of the bands in my life that people wouldn't believe, but we did so much together and hung out so much, and so that's what I do miss about being in Judas Priest is hanging out with those guys. So we're not in contact as much as we could be, or just because we have all of us are doing so much,
Do you recall your first rehearsal with Judas Priest?
My first official rehearsal, man, I don't know. Oh, was that? I'm not exactly sure. That was probably at the studio out there. No, I don't remember that much. I remember the first show at the Boathouse in Virginia Beach, and I remember some things. I remember auditioning, but I don't remember the first rehearsal actually.
You have to think deep in the brain these days for that.
Yeah, I'm thinking it would have had to have been at the studio where we recorded Jugulator at. There, it's out by Ripley, England, and I'm thinking it probably was there. And but we were so busy, and things kind of ran together. And I remember a lot, but that's funny. That's the first time I was ever asked that, and maybe that's why it's kind of went away, because I haven't been asked that question as much.
You don't remember your first rehearsal too much. Now, your first show, how's the fans, really looking?
It was
Tim Ripper
awesome, man.
Owens?
That was what made it so great. Is I remember walking on stage and hearing some people chant Ripper and talk about me. And the funnest thing is I also found this bootleg cassette tape that this guy was selling when I went to Europe and played. He was out front of the venue selling it, and it was Ripper's first concert, and we confiscated them, and I went home and listened to the cassette tape, and it was funny because just the fan holding the tape recorder, but you could hear what people were saying all around them and hear the reaction, and it was awesome. Even if someone was a diehard Priest fan who was a diehard Halford fan that wanted to come watch, there was people that just wanted to watch me suck. There was people that wanted to watch me not. They just wanted to watch me fail. And I could see the reaction when I would sing usually. They'd be like, he's not going to fail vocally. And I was passionate at singing it, and so it was fun to watch the reaction of the faces and the people get into it. And, I got to say, nothing better than singing Judas Priest songs with the fans out there. The fans were so great, and still are to this day. When I go, I go on tours, and I'll sing Painkiller and Burn in Hell and One on One, and just to watch the reaction, it's unbelievable.
Do you still listen to the albums like Jugulator and Demolition?
I haven't that much, but whenever I put them on, I think, because I have to study for a tour or something if I'm doing something. But when I have, it's great to hear it because I haven't heard it in a while, and they're just really good, especially now when I put them on. I think, man, they have so many great songs on it, and I enjoy it so much to hear it. As a Judas Priest fan, I enjoy those records a lot. Granted, I'm singing it, but when I put them on, I think, man, that's Brain Dead and Abductors and One on One and Feed on Me and Bloodsuckers. There's just so many great songs on there.
What's your first recollection of hearing Judas Priest? What's your first album?
Well, it's funny because my brother actually got a Screaming for Vengeance album, and I looked on the back of and saw the picture of it. I said, "Oh my God, what is this, man?" I got like REO Speedwagon that day, and he got Judas Priest. I was like, "What is this, man?" And I put on. He put it on, so I listened to it, and I heard Electric Eye, and I was just, and this was 83, and I was like, man. And then I started checking into them, and then I realized, wow, they did Breaking the Law, and then Midnight, and I'm like, I remember seeing Hen on the Highway on MTV, and then really became a fanatic because, just hearing Electric Eye, I'm like, man, that guy, that guy changes his voice in songs. And when I heard it, I thought, and I started singing with him, like, man, this is just like me. This is how I sing. This is, you know, I was always confused at singing because when I would sing with stuff, like someone would say, hey, sing some AC/DC. Well, I can't sing it, or Scorpions, or that's not how I sing. It's strange for me to sing that. But when I would sing Judas Priest, when I would put those albums on, I was like, man, that's how I've been singing forever, and it was, I just became a fanatic, man, because I was like, this is great stuff, you know.
Did you ever share the stage with Rob Halford in your life?
I never have, you know. I'd love to. I'd love to, go up there and sing some songs with him, or sing a song, and I've always said I'd love to do a single with him, do a song, and do like Under Pressure. I'd love to sing that song, and since it was Bowie and Freddie Mercury, it'd be cool if it was Halford and myself jamming on that song. But that's definitely would be something that would be fun, and the fans would love to see something like that. You know what would be great is if I could get a Beyond Fear opening for Judas Priest on a tour, you know, or me solo would be great opening up for Judas Priest, but I think Beyond Fear would be cooler if it was Beyond Fear opening for Judas Priest. You know, maybe one of the shows, Halford and I would sing, Metal Gods together or something like that. It'd be fun.
That would most definitely happen, you know, if you'd be on the opening bill.
Yeah, I would love to. I think Judas Priest now, with the time that's passed, would think it's cool, and I think the fans would love it. You know, I mean, it would be an awesome experience.
Let's say for, backstage in those days, how was the backstage life?
It was good, you know. I mean, everybody's, first of all, the style of music I have to sing, and I was always a pretty serious guy backstage, and no drinking before, during a show, and Priest was pretty much the same way. I mean, it was a business. We had a lot of fun, but it was still, we had a business, we had something to do, you know. It was, we're not talking about 21, 22-year-old people who are ready to just party, and that's it. That's the name of the game, you know. We wanted to go up there and destroy, you know. So it was always a really fun atmosphere, but ready to get the work done. Changing
subjects, Richard Christie, Charred Walls of the Damned. Where did you meet Richard to do this?
Well, Richard was in Iced Earth with me. He was in Iced Earth before me, and we became friends during the Glorious Burden period, and we stayed friends when he left and talked every now and then. And Richard would always say, "Hey, man, you know what? You want to play? On my solo record?" And so just he called, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I'll do it." So fortunately, I was able to do it.
Would there be any tour dates ever for something like this?
Well, we're working on some. Right now, we're working on trying to get. What area are you in?
In Nova Scotia, Canada.
Well, we're trying to get some dates, and if we do Canada, obviously it'd probably end up being Toronto and Montreal or something like that. So, but we're trying to work on it at the very beginning of July, trying to do a little East Coast American tour, like Cleveland, Chicago, New York, Detroit, Canada, Toronto, and Montreal, and New York, and Pittsburgh, and stuff like that. So if we can do that, we'd love to get it done.
Question on autographs. Did you ever sign, like classic albums of Judas Priest for fans?
It's funny, I just signed some the other day. I did an acoustic show here in my hometown, and some young fans came out and had some memorabilia from me, from my era, but also asked if I would sign their old albums, and, knowing that I wasn't on it. And these were high school kids, so it was really cool, and obviously they got a hold of their dad's record collection, I think, but and I gotta say, I know I wasn't on it, and maybe it offends Rob or offends the guy. I don't like to offend fans and say no. I don't want to sign that. I wasn't on it because it just hurts the fans' feelings. If that's all they brought, if they brought a Painkiller or a CD, I'll sign it small at the sides. I wouldn't sign it great big across it, but I'll sign it. But hey, the fans are it, and I can't sign stuff all the time, but I try to sign it. I almost always sign it, and I'll sign anything, and I love. That's the best part of the gig right there.
And I see you got a wonderful poster, Monster Energy.
Yes.
The drink. do you have these promotional posters, made for you and all that stuff, so you promote at your concerts?
I have some 8x10s made that I sign and give out, and Monster is just a great company, and they treat me great, and it's funny to be endorsed. You get lucky to be endorsed by some companies. I mean, Samson microphones. I absolutely love Samson microphones. They treat me great. Schecter guitars, Fender. But, man, I'll tell you, Monster just goes far and beyond doing things for me. And I'll be damned if I probably drink so much. I stay on a try to do it even, but I drink them every day, and I absolutely love it. It's cool to be endorsed and be involved with a company that you love a lot, and yeah, they're great. I mean, they I'm looking right now. I'm doing this interview in my room downstairs. I'm looking at a Monster refrigerator right across from me, right next to my bar. So it's like, all right, filled with Monster. And unlike in your house, next to your bar, having a Monster refrigerator filled with Monster. It's nice.
What's your favorite Monster drink?
Mine is low carb is my favorite.
And you drink it by the truckloads?
No, I don't. I'll drink usually one can a day. I might have two. Now you're getting me thirsty. I should drink one, but I have. It's too late at night to have one.
Yeah, you'll be not able to sleep too well.
Yeah, I won't be able to sleep.
For your future tours, you're going to be playing Russia and all that. You keeping constantly busy, throughout the whole summer till winter.
I'm really busy. I got so much. I actually have a show I'm going to be doing at the end of the year in Montreal. Just to mention Canada, I'm doing something there in Montreal, but I'm booked up. Either with Hale, solo, the Richard Christie thing. I'm really pretty busy from here till the end of the year.
You've got an awesome career up ahead still, man. It's unbelievable what you can still accomplish, and you will accomplish tons more, I'm sure.
Well, thank you. I'm working hard at it. I love to do it, and, want to keep doing it. Awesome, man. You got it, buddy.
All right, well, Tim, you take care, and hopefully talk to you soon again.
Okay, man.
All right.
You got it.